What's happening? What's happening, Steeler Nation? What's happening? Hey, boy, do we got a lot to talk about today. I'm trying to laugh to keep from crying because I have a lot on my mind today. I told you guys that I'll be doing shorter post-game shows. This is just a knee-jerk reaction. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail. I have Mr. Art Rooney II in my thumbnail because there's some things that have to change. We're going to talk about it. Let me say this too, just in case. Guys, for whatever reason, my camera, once again, I come in here and I find out that it was on. I must have left it on, so it may not stay charged throughout this whole broadcast. If it doesn't, if it goes out, I'll continue to talk and whatever. I just wanted to say that up front. The camera might go down. If it does, whatever. Guys, first and foremost, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers Week 4 after play, Steelers versus the Texans. Let's say hello to a few early people, and then I'm going to dive right into it, man. Sheila Davis. Hello, Sheila. Hello. I hope that's another lovely lady of the chat. Guys, make sure you say hello to our lovely ladies. Be kind, courteous to them. We love our ladies here over in the chat, man. They're special people. I see another one, Miss Lanisha. Hello, Lanisha. How are you doing, Miss Lady? Hope you are well as well as Sheila. And any of the other ladies that I may not see their name. Kev So Nice, Eric Walker, my boy Kenyon in the building, Robert Ellison. And Kenyon probably already knows how I feel because I was texting him and Tony a little bit during the game. Reggie Reg, Mr. Malvo, Rajon 39, Dean, Build His Life, Mark Malone, Artist Hines, Marlon Nicholson. I know Marlon probably has a lot to say. Let me just read what he said. He says that defense was just as or more embarrassing as the offense, and they keep getting a pass. Why in the, you know what he says there. Why in that blah, 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 do you keep playing this garbage off coverage? Shaking my head. One thing I will say, Marlon, I don't think they get no pass. I don't know who's giving them a pass. I absolutely will not today. Who else do we have here? Victor Johnson, Susie. That's another lady of the chat. Hello, Susie. Appreciate you coming by. Make sure you say hello, fellas. Robert Ellison. Who else? I might have said his name already. Jordan Mid. Let me just get right to it, man. John Alexander. All right, I'm going to jump right in. Leonard Dard is in the building as well. Hello, Sade. Sade, what's happening, Sade? Haven't seen you in a while, man. I'm good to see you back in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in like always. All right, here it is. Y'all know how I do. We're going to chronicleize the first drive and first defensive series, and then I'm going ham. I'm going in. I'm letting y'all know right now. I got some things on my mind. Steelers kicked the ball off. First defensive series, 36-yard return on the opening kickoff. Started right there. Drive starts on the 31-yard line. Steelers give up a 13-yard run off the right side on 2nd and 10. Already starting to show how the game is going to go. Steelers give up a 27-yard screen pass to Pierce. Stroud was then able to hit Nico Collins later on the drive in front of Levi Wallace for the score. It was basically a play action, quick slant. Might have been an RPO situation, but more so play action right in front of Levi Wallace. Number 29. I'll get there in a minute. I put here that number 29 was playing outside leverage with no help in the inside. Again, I don't know what the call was right there defensively, but clearly when there's no safety in the middle of the field or no linebacker, I mean, that's a very, very condensed space, but there was nobody to play the middle, and we're playing outside leverage as we do so often. This off coverage, and most of the time when we're doing it with guys like number 29, it's off coverage, and the guys we give them the inside like nobody's business. We saw it last week, whether it's man or zone. Just like that, the Texans are up 7-0. Steelers' first drive, pick up of 3 yards by Najee on the first down. Quick sprint out to Muth for an incompletion on second down. Steelers are faced with a 3rd and 7. Pickett picks it up with his legs. Had to scramble. Takes a pretty good hit as well. Najee picks up 4 yards on the next play. There was a one-on-one with Steven Nelson, and he lost the battle. Some might say it was a good tackle by Steven Nelson, maybe. But, again, Najee sometimes doesn't he doesn't excite me in one-on-one situations. Even though Najee had an excellent run, man, later in the game, that pickup of 20+ yards, that was a beautiful run. I liked that run play. You know those run plays when it's like quick. You know, it's that quick handoff. I love those out of shotgun. Those plays work for a lot of teams. And it worked for Najee in that scenario. What else did I write here? There was a jet sweep to Austin, I believe, for 5 yards. And I say I believe. I have it in parentheses because I was actually looking down, taking notes, and I looked back up. I saw Austin had the ball, but honestly, guys, I do not remember if that was a jet sweep or if it was a quick pass. Actually, I'm going to challenge you guys that was watching that. On the first offensive drive, do y'all remember that play to Austin? Let me look in the chat. Was that a jet sweep or a quick pass to Austin? Somebody help me out. Somebody said Kendrick Green MVP. What was it? Think it was an ending round. Okay, probably was an ending round or a jet sweep. I knew it had to be something like that. Of course it was, right? All right, let's get back to my little notes here. So after that, it was 3rd and 1. Quarterback sneak to Pickett. And then right after that, we get that first down. Pickett gets sacked on a play action. Clean pass rush to Pickett on the sprint out. Y'all remember that? It was a clean sack. And that sprint out, I'm going to talk about that sprint out in a moment. Why I'm so upset about that particular play call on that drive twice against that defense. I will explain. After that, Pickett throws a pick, taking a shot downfield. Guess who got it? Steven Nelson. Now, he took a shot downfield when they showed the overhead view. Possibly a good decision because what they're trying to do is, get Austin on a post with his speed. Steven Nelson did a good job staying on top of it, but also Pickett underthrew it by a touch, allowed Steven Nelson to make an excellent play on it, picks it off. And there you go. Throws that pick. And I did right here, ball was underthrown. It was 2nd and 18. So once again, in typical Matt Canada fashion, it's just vertical routes. And boy, do I have a lot to say about the vertical routes in this game. I'm going to get there. Let me just talk about a few key moments. Back-to-back 3-and-outs by the Steelers offense. I think that was in the second quarter. And speaking of 3-and-outs, I have it notated here as my takeaways. Where is it? They actually said on the broadcast that the Steelers at that time, before that 14th, before the 14th 3-and-out, at that particular moment, it said the Steelers had 13 3-and-outs so far this year offensively, which is tied for the worst in the league. Guess who else is in that ballpark? I would have never guessed this. Cincinnati Bengals. But who cares about the Bengals or any other team? I'm just talking about these Pittsburgh Steelers. We have the most 3-and-outs offensively in the league, and we added to that total today. Another key moment. Steelers able to turn over the Texans on a 4th and 1 mid-second quarter. That was a positive thing. Steelers defense gives up 2 explosive plays right before the half. And I wrote here, tackling was piss poor. Piss poor tackling. Let me see. Did we have a donation? Yes, we do. Round of applause to Darren Covington. I appreciate the donation, brother. Piss poor tackling, folks. Piss poor tackling. Excuse me for saying that. I know the word piss is not necessarily a preferred word. It's not a curse, but I have to put emphasis on it. Piss poor tackling. All day. My God. What else do I have? What did I write here? Piss poor tackling in the first half. Texans were up 16-0. Steelers offense held to 53 whopping yards in the first half. This offense sucks. Point blank period. Defense didn't play well today either. Big play on second drive in the third. It was a 3rd and 3. Pickett bails out, and he hits Najee Harris across his body. And Najee Harris with an excellent effort. That was a 32-yard gain. I wrote here, great effort by both players. And then the last thing I had, Steelers get stopped on a 4th and 1 in the 3rd quarter, and Pickett gets hurt. And boy, am I going to talk about that play. Give me just a second before I get there. Here's a few quick takeaways. Who do I want to talk about first? The thumbnail has Art Rooney II. And the reason why I have him there is because, listen, a lot of times, a lot of us in Steeler Nation, you guys in the chat, we always have our opinions on who's responsible for what. None of us really know. So I'm going to start with the top and work my way down. I'm pointing fingers at everybody. Everybody. Art Rooney, Mike Tomlin, Matt Canada, Terrell Austin. And the reason why I have Art Rooney II there is, listen, the Steelers need to do something they have not done in recent history. And it's funny. Y'all see me going off because I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of it. I understand how the organization works, but I see a trend starting. I will say this. The Steelers, this team has 3 more weeks to show me what type of team they're going to be. Because the funny thing is, they're still 2-2. Whoa, the Bengals are 1-3. What's happening here? Steelers are still 2nd in the division. Do I have any confidence that they can win the division? No, I do not. Because they don't look like a team that can win the division. Because we have some inconsistent inability to put a game together both offensively and defensively. We have a donation. Deshaun Davis, round of applause. Deshaun says the difference between the coaching today was astronomical. Yeah, both offense and defensive concepts have been abysmal. Has to be Tomlin's last year. Let me stop y'all right there. Let me stop y'all right there and get to a key point, and the reason why I put Art Rooney II right there. Let me start off by saying this. I'm not going to challenge anybody whatsoever that doesn't like Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett, whoever. I'm going to let everybody have their own opinion. To me, everybody always wants to fire or cut or release. It happens each and every week. Last week, here's the funny thing about Kenny Pickett. Last week, nobody really said too much about how bad he is. Oh, he's playing better. Then today, oh, he's super trash. But I'm going to actually take up for Kenny a little bit in this game, and I'll tell you why. But let me say this as well. Mike Tomlin this is his 17th year. Y'all want me to say a surprise statement that y'all think I would never say? I don't care if this is his last year. I wouldn't care. He's been there for 17 years. He's kept his team in the hunt. I think he's a great coach. He has bad parts of his game. He does. Every coach does. Maybe his run its course. I don't know. I'm just feeding into everyone's narrative because all of them are applicable here. Maybe 17 years is too long. I'm a Steeler fan. So if we get a new coach, great. If we don't, it is what it is because Art Rooney II is not going to fire Mike Tomlin. I just want y'all to know that. If they do that, I'd be super surprised. I know a lot of people say it doesn't matter, but when we're talking about business and revenue and things like that, Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season, which means butts are kept in the seats. The higher-ups are not going to fire someone if they end up having their first losing season. I don't think the Steelers brass is the type that, oh, we can't get over the hump. We're just going to let this guy go. I'm just letting y'all know, don't expect that. Maybe when his contract expires, he don't come back. But I'm not going to defend it. I don't care what happens from this point. There needs to be some type of change. And if some of y'all think it's the head coach, fine. I don't care. I'm just trying to let y'all know it's likely that that's not going to happen. So you can say that until the cows come home. But 17 years is a long time. I'm not opposed to new philosophies because I'm here to tell you that listen, Tomlin's a defensive man. I'm going to get into him in a second. I'm about to get in Tomlin. I'm about to, you're going to see. Hold 1 second. We got a couple donations. Round of applause to Darren Covington and Edward James Gardner. Appreciate you both. Darren says, Sim, offense and defense plan never change. Yeah, that's a problem, man, because defensively we sitting back in the same type of coverages. And Edward James says, definitely need a new QB and OC. Too early for head coach moves. Yeah, and that's where, if y'all asking me my opinion, man, listen. Am I at the point where I feel like Mike Tomlin has to go? No. Am I at the point where I oppose changes? No. If for some reason the Steelers decide, let's say they get bold and they fire Mike Tomlin, okay, let's see what the new direction is, because he's been there 17 years. I do like Mike Tomlin, but it's been 17 years, so sometimes change has to happen. I don't completely think it's Mike Tomlin's fault completely. Mike Tomlin's hand is on it, absolutely. But I'm not going to argue any of those statements anymore, because some people seem to think that there's a motive, or I have no motive when it comes to these Steelers. I love the team, period. But I kind of agree with that last comment. I don't know. I think it might be too early to say that, because there's so much more going on with this team, and Mike Tomlin has a hand in it defensively. I'm going to get there. I'll get there in just a moment. Let's see. Okay, let's go right now. Let's go to Tomlin and Terrell Austin. Mike Tomlin. First of all, this is what I need you to do. I need you to really look at your cornerbacks and ask yourself, what service are they offering us? What purpose are they serving as the starters? The two of them. Number 29, and out of respect, I'm not going to call Patrick Peterson number 20 because he's a Hall of Famer. And here's the caveat with Patrick Peterson. He's 33 years old. And here's another caveat. Patrick Peterson told us when he got signed, I can't run like I used to. Even he said that. Everybody knows he's more of a zone corner, which is why we've been playing a lot of soft zone. So on that last touchdown to Nico Collins, you bring Patrick Peterson up tight with no press, right? There was no press. There was no bump. You just bring him up tight to, for him to play tight man coverage, tight bell technique when you know he can't run. Joy Porter Jr. needs to play right now. I'm not saying JPJ is the savior. What I am saying is he's a promising rookie that has made plays, made a play in this game with good coverage. You might as well let the kid play. What I will fault Tomlin for, and some of you guys said this in the past, I can't refute it. They do seem to have a lot of loyalty in terms of sticking with things too long. I need to see Mike Tomlin do defensively what he did last year with bringing Kenny Pickett in at halftime of the Jets game. I need to see that happen defensively, because number 29 is killing us. I've been trying to be nice with him. Even last week, I said, oh, he got 2 picks, but y'all heard me criticize him last week. It seems like all of the big plays, most of the third down conversions happen on his watch. Here's the second week that we've seen a big cutback run because he's not disciplined playing the backside. And let's not even get on the missed tackles. Coaching aside, some people blame that on coaching. I do not. As an athlete, as someone who played football, the coach could not make me make a tackle. What is going on with the tackling? And that's from Minka on down in this game. What's happening? There were times where they looked confused. Again, some people say that's coaching, but the reason why I don't always say it's coaching, when you see a Landon Roberts and them out there like That's them, not somebody not understanding what to do. Coaching is the scheme we continue to run. That's where I have this finger pointed at Tomlin and Austin. What are y'all? I don't understand what y'all are doing, man. Y'all have been out schemed, if I'm being brutally honest, these last 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. The Texans, the way they called that game early, I mean, they just had the defense completely out of sorts. Masterfully called that game. Something's got to change. I don't know what it is. I know Tomlin always says, oh, it's nothing mythical. We just got to execute. No. It's more than execution this time, buddy. Mike Tomlin, this one is on you in terms of the defense. Because guess what else showed up this week? The lack of run stuffing. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's because Cam Hayward is... Man, listen. We always talking about standard is the standard, next man up. It won't just because Cam Hayward. It was because a lot of missed tackles and no penetration. And y'all didn't even beat up Kendrick Green. TBD until I review the tape. But from looking at the game, I didn't really see any moments where Kendrick Green, you know, he got a couple penalties, but I didn't really see any moments on first watch where Kendrick Green was the result of something. That back end, bro. That combination of 29 and Pat Pete, that ain't it. That ain't it. Last week, I showed you guys the all-22. A lot of that zone stuff that we were running, it was because of guys like Cole Holcomb not getting enough depth in his drop back and Devontae Adams able to eat, you know, but a lot of those plays we saw today was to Nico Collins and who was on them. Number 29. Yeah, man, they simply got out-schemed and out-coached today defensively, and I'm about to get to the offense. Round of applause to Deshaun Davis. I appreciate another donation. I see Rajon said King and JPJ. Yeah, man, that's another thing. Come on, Desmond King ain't been on the field yet. And maybe it's because Desmond King, they're reserving him for the slot, and Chandon Sullivan hasn't done too bad there. Maybe that's why. But, I mean, give him a shot outside then. Because the two corners that you got playing ain't it. Deshaun says, both teams play heavy zone, but the Texans look better coached at what to do and what to expect the other team to do. Also, no interior push from the D-line. Absolutely not. And also, Deshaun, one thing I would challenge watching the game, I'm going to have to watch it again and watch the, you know, the all-22 to know. There was a lot of times, too, where the Texans was in man, which is where I'm going to on my next comment about the offense. It was a lot of times it was tight man coverage that they was playing, particularly that kid Griffin on Pickens. I'm going to get there. Yeah, man, let me just get to the next part and then we'll be out of here. Listen, Coach Tomlin, man, you got to do something defensively. I'm not seeing any type of changes. Man, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, I will say this. They was getting pressure. They were getting pressure. CJ Stroud was getting rid of the ball quick. So I know some people are probably going to say, oh, man, TJ and Alex ain't do nothing. No. If you really watch the game, they was getting pressure. But the Texans were able to scheme around that pressure, man. They were. And the times where we were getting pressure, we couldn't hold it together on the back end, i.e. number 29. Round of applause, a big salute, man. Y'all going crazy with the donations. I appreciate y'all. What's up, Steel City? Yeah, man, doing calls on Tuesday. I definitely want to hear from you, man. I definitely want to hear from you. I really do. So hopefully if you're around on Tuesday, man, please let me know you're in the queue, and I'm going to get you on for sure. Listen, defensively, like I said, man, I'm sick of it. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm putting that right on Tomlin's shoulders. It matters not that I like Coach Tomlin as a coach. It matters not that I think Tomlin is a good coach, a great coach even at times. It matters not that I think he's a great motivator at times. Right now, I'm putting this right on your shoulders, bro. I'm putting this right on your shoulders on the defense. I don't like it. I don't like it. Round of applause to Darren Covington. He says, Sim, do we blitz anymore? Yeah, we blitz. We blitz a few times, man, but what we're doing now is kind of really vanilla. You know, we're blitzing usually from the corner spot, you know, like the slot or right up the middle, but yeah, you know. Now let's talk about Matt Canada. I see somebody in here saying that Matt Canada is also on the shoulders of Tomlin. This is why I put Art Rooney II in the thumbnail. None of us know that. I don't. I can't confirm any of that. That's why I'm including all of them. What I do know is this Pittsburgh Steelers brass don't fire coaches, right? Let's see if they make a change. Let's see if they do something drastically different, but they don't fire coaches. And the fact that they don't fire coaches, then can't put that on Tomlin. What you could put on Tomlin is if he's the one who had the autonomy of saying, I want this guy as opposed to someone else. Now that I would put on Tomlin. But until I know that, you understand what I'm saying, man? I'm not, chumping your comment. I'm just saying I don't work in speculation. When I know facts, then I can say, yeah. Man, big time donation from Kev. So nice. Appreciate it, man. Round of applause. Look, right on brand right there, right on topic. He says, we need to stop hiring from within. They need to change. OC and DC hire outside the organization. Number 29 and Tom Brady killed us. He says Tom Brady killed us with the zone. And CJ Stroud, a really good rookie, he killed us with the zone. Yeah, and the funny thing is, man, Stroud just did what he was supposed to do. He played within their scheme. He didn't do anything crazy. Very accurate. Remember, I said that last night on the pregame. Accurate thrower. And there you have it. But they definitely need to stop hiring from within, man. I agree with my man. Still City Film Room says the D made some big stops, but could have made a few more chunks to be on. Yeah. It's not like, listen, our defense has a chance to be good, but not great. They held the team to 16, 13 points or whatever for a long time. But then they just broke loose. It's just the plays that we get beat on is what bothers you. Like, oh my God, how many screenplays? How many screenplays did they run? And I talked about that last night in the pregame. Yeah. We just seem like we're never in position, man, or we're never ready for what's coming. The defense did make some rather decent. They made some stops in the game. So I'm not trying to say they're trash. It's more so the back end. It's more so Wallet, 29, and Pat Peterson. Man, y'all got more donations. Goodness gracious. Casual Friday. Thank you. Yes. He says, even the average fan can see that when Kenny is under center, it is a run or a play action. No drop back passes from under center. Man. Beyond predictable, man. Beyond predictable. We got another round of applause here, man, for Chronos. Thank you for the donation. I'm glad you brought up this point, so I might as well talk about Kenny right now, then I'm going to get to Canada. He says, what do you think is the primary issue with Kenny? I have pretty much just seen him not seeing the field, right? I have seen so many throws and, mind you, from the camera that he just doesn't see. Here's the problem that I've seen with Kenny Pickett in terms of this season. He has a tendency sometimes to bail too fast. Sometimes he bails from a clean pocket a bit too fast. He's a little too antsy. And he doesn't always stand in there and scan the field. But what I will say today, maybe some of y'all won't agree with me. I ain't putting this on Kenny today. Kenny had no time today. Kenny had no time really today. And also, Mr. Canada. The play calls against man coverage. How many times are we going to just throw it deep downfield or throw a deep post or just a fly pattern or a comeback against, like, every time? What happened to mesh concepts? What happened to shallow cross when you know they in man coverage? Like, you made it very easy with those route combinations for these guys to defend. I don't get, man, y'all got donations going all over the place. Round of applause to Still City Film Room, Nobe, 412. Who else did I miss? Andre Romero, man. Let's talk about that, Andre. This kindergarten offense got Kenny hurt. Dog, if I'm not, hold on. Before I get into that, let me read some more comments. Thank you, Still City, man. I really appreciate you, brother. No412 says, them refs got paid some too. Let's not forget. Yeah, there was some calls they missed. Absolutely. Absolutely some bad calls that they did not call. Matt Canada. Can you guys in the chat correct me if I'm wrong? I want to say it was the same series when Najee had that long run and when we started to get the run game going a little bit. We get to 4th and 1. And this is a needed situation. Needed. And see, here's where it gets tricky. A lot of people, I don't know. So let me preface this statement and say I have no idea. But people like to put these situations on the head coach. It's 4th and 1. Yes, that's time to go for it. But I've seen so many of you all blame Tomlin for the play call because y'all say Tomlin's hands are all over the offense. I don't know. I don't know. I assume it's Matt Canada because when they pan to Matt Canada, he's the one talking and all of that. But whoever was responsible for going shotgun and passing the ball on 4th and 1 on the same drive where we were running the ball. TJ Pope, I got to call foul on the play on that one. For those of y'all that cut the game off and don't continue to watch, that's crazy. I understand that you upset, but listen, a fan got to stick it to the end, bro. Yes, I'm going to agree with Still City Film Room here. He says Tomlin trusts his OC to do his job, but it is his fault he got a guy who can't. That's a fact. Because I do believe one thing to be true. I do believe Tomlin had the autonomy to hire the staff. What I'm telling y'all is I don't believe Tomlin has the ability to fire, only because we've never seen it in the Steeler organization. I don't know to be true. I don't know if that's a true statement as far as he can't fire, but we've never seen it. So I'm definitely putting the decision to retain Matt Canada when he was the quarterback coach and bringing him in as the OC after you interviewed other guys. That is on Tomlin. No way around that. But 4th and 1, shotgun, and not even a quick pass. Like, what was that? I mean, can the coaches in Pittsburgh not see what that other team in Pennsylvania is doing on short yardage? What about that little, whatever they call that thing that Jalen Hurts does? Thank you for doing it because it gives me fantasy points. But I'm baffled. That's why I'm putting that call on Matt Canada. Because like I said, I can only blame the guy whose job we know it is. Some of you guys always try to say that's on Tomlin. I don't get that. I do not think that Mike Tomlin makes play calls offensively. I don't know. I'm just trying to use some logic. I'm sure he was the one that said we're going for. Actually, you saw it. You read his lips. He literally said if it's 4th and 1 or inches, we going for. I saw him say that. Like, kind of read his lips. But I'm assuming he's talking to homeboy with the headset. Horrible call. Horrible. Horrible call. But I agree with all of y'all that say it is on Mike Tomlin's head for keeping Canada. Absolutely. And when I say keeping, I mean hiring him as the OC. I'm not saying that about keeping him on staff because, as many of you in the chat would know, the Steelers are not known for firing coaches or positional coordinators. They're not known for doing that. So that alone, I can't solely put that on Tomlin because I believe that is an organization thing. If we are to find out with facts, listen to me, people. If we are to find out with facts, not speculation, if we find out facts that he's keeping Matt Canada, then yes, I'm putting that on his head too. But all in all, as I wrap up, and I'll go in the chat a little bit, they're 2-2. They still have time to become a better team. Man, whoa. All of you guys who just hate Kenny Pickett, well, guess what? You may have gotten your wish. He might not be quarterbacking for a while. Remains to be seen, but let's see. I hope that kid is not hurt too bad. Like I said, guys, going forward, and I had this conversation with my father-in-law during the game. I'm not having these conversations no more about Kenny isn't it, Kenny is that, because y'all change y'all mind every week. I'm a wait and see type of guy. If Kenny turns out to not be the guy for Pittsburgh, then oh well. At that point, I can say, all right, we need a new quarterback. It does me no good to continue to say this every week. And then if there's a game that he does well, then you retract it. No, I will say this. Kenny Pickett has not been the best this season, right? In games where he had, first game, against the Niners, he definitely wasn't his best. He missed a lot of throws. Did it again against Cleveland. Missed a lot of throws. Looked a lot better in the Raiders game. A lot better. Money throw to Calvin Austin in that game. Looked a lot better. Biggest issue I think that he has is he bails sometime on clean pockets. After watching the film, man, he does. And he doesn't seem to go through progressions all the time. Sometimes he does, but there's a whole lot of plays that it seems like the target is locked. Here's the proof. When Mitch Trubisky came in, he almost threw an interception right to that kid, Griffin. And even the commentator said, it's almost like the offense is designed to go to this route. You know, so I'm confused. This dude is a veteran. Now, some people might say, well, it's Trubisky. But I mean, this is a dude who played well at some point in his career. Like, you don't make that mistake. Like, the man in the booth said, I mean, he telegraphed that from the word go. And I'm like, what is that? Remember, guys, I asked that question a few weeks ago. Are some of these play calls like one read? It feels like that. It feels like that. Remember that? I forget which game it was. It might have been the Niners or Cleveland. And remember that play where the corner was playing off coverage to Pickens and he ran a quick slant and Kenny never saw him. And I'm like, it's almost like they're the play call, they're telling them to go here. So that's why I feel like it's offense. It's the offense and Kenny. It is the offense, and Matt Canada and Kenny also has to wear some of that because, again, when he's had clean pockets in the past, he's missed throws, he's been antsy. But I'm telling y'all, today's game, if you go back and rewatch the game, maybe you have a different opinion. I don't think I can beat Kenny up too much in this game because Kenny was running for his life a lot of this game. Oh, now let me get to the sprint outs real quick. Wait, did we get another donation? Yes, we did. Andre Romero, round of applause. Earl Clark says that's normal for a young QB. Yeah, and that's why, real quick, let me say what Andre said. He says the Steelers need a losing season to wake up. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not opposed to the team just not being great and learning on the fly, but I don't know if they need a losing season. What they need is better players. The offensive line didn't get it done today, man. It's just that simple. Good to see Broderick Jones come in. I hate to see guys get hurt, so, we'll see what happens with Dan Moore. But it's good to get this guy in the game. You notice they said they were talking about how Houston was playing so many rookies. This is what I'm saying, man. In today's NFL, if you're in a rebuild, right, you got to start letting these guys play. Let JPJ cook. Let him get out there and go through his lumps. Because number 29 ain't, okay, he got 2 interceptions last week, but were those, like, you know how they say, were those quality sacks? Were those quality interceptions? Those were easy. Those weren't the read and pick. You know what I'm saying? He's just not feeling him, man. I'm not feeling number 29 at the moment. The sprint outs. Do you guys remember, if you watched my before play video last night, and I said one of the keys to the victory, I said one of the things that the Texans didn't do. I said that team hadn't been getting pressure this season. They haven't really been applying a lot of pressure. So it baffled me on the first drive of the game by the Steelers. We ran a sprint out twice, but you know why we did that? Do y'all know why I think they did that? I can't prove it, but this is what I think. Because Matt Canada always sticks to stuff that he saw work. To me, this is my opinion. This ain't fact. But it seems like he doesn't really scheme against the opponent. He was trying to move the pocket early. For what? This is a team that ain't been getting no pressure. Like, who you running from? Or do you not trust the offensive line? It's one or the other. But that was baffling to me. I'm like, we running that on this second play of the game? Why? I understand get Kenny on the move, but if you looked at how the Texans played last week against the Jags, and I saw it just in one watch of the game, they don't create a lot of pressure to where you feel like, I got to move the pocket. You did it against the Raiders, of course, and we got going because Max Crosby on the other side. And they were getting tremendous pressure. But I thought it was weird that we came out like that immediately, especially after already picking up 3 yards or so on the first run. I'm like, I don't get it, man. And the dude does it again, and I think that was when Kenny threw the pick. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I see somebody say, why isn't Tomlin on the hot seat? Guys, that's all relative. Like I told y'all, I'm not having any of them conversations anymore. Y'all know how I feel about certain people, and I come in here and tell you every week exactly how I feel. Tomlin definitely, it's you can question. You can question, has he been there too long? You could, And again, that's not no way of me saying that he's a bad coach. I think Tomlin does have warts like every coach. But again, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing going on with the Steelers, I can't completely say it's just the head man, because again, here's the thing. People don't say that when they win. Last year when they went 9-8 and they run all them games in a row and they had a chance to make the playoffs, none of y'all was saying that. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't live in that realm of, as soon as they lose, then I don't. Because again, I told you, from a business standpoint, this is me taking off the Steelers hat. Just from a business standpoint, you got to look at the ownership. Their objective is to put out a good product and bring in the revenue. Since Mike Tomlin has been the head coach, the seats have been filled for the most part. They're always in the conversation. All of us in here are hoping this is the year because he's maintained that consistency. That has nothing to do with you and I as fans. I'm just kicking the real to you. So I honestly don't think he's on the hot seat when it comes to Art Rooney because, again, people always say this doesn't matter, but it does matter monetarily. He's never had a losing season. Like, how many coaches in the NFL have been fired or let go or been put on the hot seat that hasn't lost a season? So ask yourself that question. You understand what I'm saying? This is, again, I hope, and I'm gonna even stop trying to explain myself because I don't need to. But I hope by now most of you guys know I keep it relative and unbiased, and I try to speak from like logic. We can say he's on the hot seat because we are emotional fans, but just think about it from a business standpoint. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? So, Cardwell and Flores. Okay, name me some more. See, you got two examples. It's not the norm, right? It's not the norm. Okay, and the Real Planet says Tomlin sucks, period. Okay, I told y'all, I'm not going to argue I'm not arguing nobody's opinion about the coaches, players. I ain't in the business for that. I'm here to give my opinion. You guys seem to enjoy it, and that's it. I'll let all of y'all hash it out in the chat. Y'all can beef back and forth about who's this, who's that. I promise y'all, from this day forward, I'm not engaging in any of that. I'll just give my opinions week in and week out. What else we got? Lagoon Tours Bahamas says, I'm just sick. 10 p.m. here for me. Good night. Oh, man. I feel you. Good night, brother. Where exactly are you? Where exactly are you? You said it's 10 p.m. If you don't mind sharing that. Susie says, we need Sutton back. I see your point, but I would say that might be a little results bias too. Sutton wasn't phenomenal. Sutton was really good in the slot. Had a decent year outside his last season, but Steel City says Sutton would get cooked too. Yeah, he would. Look, Steven Nelson made a play today, and I'm pretty sure, I'm going to call some of y'all out in the chat. I'm pretty sure some of y'all in the chat was probably saying to yourself, see, we should have never get. It's fun, man. It's all fun. Listen, we all have our opinions, and I love it. I just love sometimes how it goes so flip-flop, man. 1 week changes people's opinions. It's so hilarious to me. But I love all of y'all, man. I really do. None of this is personal. This is just Steelers talk. Let's see. Stills MB says, fire Mike Tomlin, hire another one. Okay. Another one. Who's the other one? See, I want you guys to start giving me real solutions. Like, who's the other guy? You know what I mean? Like, who do you have in mind? Don't just throw out. In case you're new here, I always like to challenge you guys, as I like you guys to challenge me. Give me some meat on your bone, right? Pause. Give me some meat on the bone on the statement. Don't just say, oh, that sucks. He sucks. Say why. Give me some solutions. Psycho Clan says Matt Canada, period, needs to go. Okay. Jermaine says we need JJ for D tackle. Okay. He even said himself on the broadcast that would never play again. Who else? Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders. Listen, Deion Sanders said himself that he would never coach the NFL. You caught that, Kev. JP. Yeah, that statement was a little crazy. Fire Canada promotes Sullivan as interim OC. Okay. Sade says, laugh out loud, right, Kenyon? I hate that cowards players never. Yeah, man. Yeah. Y'all know I don't get into that. My man, Steel City, man. Listen, I appreciate you coming through. Definitely appreciate you, brother. Hopefully you can come back on Tuesday. There it is. The camera went out on me, guys. Hold on. Camera went out on me. I'm gonna let y'all decide. Should I leave that face up there like that, frozen like that, or should I just go with the black screen? Actually, I'm only gonna be here about 2-3 more minutes anyway. What else y'all got? Irvin Garcia said, what? Where is it? I missed it. Where's Irvin? My bad. Oh, he says, is it just me or is Pickens disappointing in terms of yak and 50-50 balls? No, I won't say that. But what I will say about Pickens, I need you to stop talking so much trash, man. I need you to stop doing that. I need you to stop standing over players and not stop chirping. Stop chirping. That's going to cost us at some point. Please stop it. Please stop it, Pickens. Come on. Stop doing that. Yeah, he is annoyed, but he has to, you know what I mean? Don't lose your mind. Let's see. Couple more. Somebody said here, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Is it? Oh, Pearl Jam. This offense has gotten worse each year. Canada has been here. That is on Canada and Tomlin for not making the change in the offseason. Yeah, but remember Pearl Jam, like I said, right now when we're talking about making changes, it would come from up above in terms of firing. I believe. I don't know that to be true. I'm just going off of the Steelers organization history. I will say that, Tomlin should never have hired Matt Canada. We do too much hiring from within. We got to stop that. All right, I'm going to go with one or two more. Walter Worthy says, too much going on, so I missed the game. Might have been for the best. Saw at one point that Kenny had 7 completions for 21 yards. Yeah, man, a lot of the same. Sade says, can we come up with an actual logical ways to fix the team outside of fire everyone? Thank you. That's not going to happen. We have to adjust in season. The offensive scheme is what it is. Thank you, Sade. It's a voice of reasoning. And again, guys, this is not a shot at anybody, but y'all have to, can y'all at least act like y'all know how your favorite team's organization works? Can y'all do that? Is that too much for me to ask? I always, I coin that phrase highlight watches, and this is what I'm talking about. That's not a disrespect. I'm just saying a lot of you guys, you really don't look at the ins and outs, right? You just go off of what you see or what you think you see. But yeah, I'll let y'all have that though. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, especially since I paused on the scene there with my camera running out of juice. But let me go ahead and get out of here, man. But again, before I go, if I can remind you guys to do this, boom, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you are fully aware when the next videos are up and running. Make sure you come back on Tuesday right here. Boom. Terrible Towel Tuesday, guys. You will be able to call in on that day. 619-924-0818. I want to hear from you. You'll be able to call in. If you want to guarantee that your call is answered, drop a super chat with your area code and I will push you up the list. If not, can't guarantee that I'm going to answer all the calls if I get a bunch of calls, as I often do. So there you have it. But outside of that, man, listen, we're still sitting at 2-2. Our division is looking a little right now, except for the Ravens. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But maybe it's time to face the facts that what we've been saying since early on, even in the offseason, don't expect this team to be this powerhouse. I think sometimes your expectations get a little too big for your britches. And the team, to me, is right about where they're supposed to be given how they've looked for these first 4 weeks. They're going to win some tight games here and there. But if we're depending on the offense to get cooking, I have no proof of that as of yet. I'm giving them 3 weeks because y'all know by week 7 is when I can say exactly what the team is. All right, I'm out of here, man. Y'all be safe. Stay great. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I shall catch you guys on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And like always, man, I thank you guys for tuning in to the Steelers After Play Week 4. Steelers getting brutalized by the Houston Texans. Peace.